This Church Sabbath School panel. I, Lori Kunze, am up here with Dick Ryan and Susie Bouch. Welcome all of you. And to Facebook friends who are tuned in, thank you. I connected, however, briefly last night with a person that some of you in the Grand Junction Church probably remember. Remember Pastor Boyan, the associate from Bulgaria, that we had for a short time. Ran into Pastor Boyan on Facebook, and he said to give the Grand Junction people a big hey, and also put him on your prayer list. He and his wife are starting a church plant in the D.C. area, and he said, we need your prayers. So please add Boyan and his wife and their ministry to your prayer list. We're on lesson 3 this week. What is it called, Dick?
It's called The Law as Teacher.
Okay, the law as teacher. Now this little bit of opening comments may seem a little weird, but just hang in there with me. I had an awful time with this lesson at the first of the week. I thought, what? And did not know what in the world I'd do with it.
This is one of those lessons that you could study and study and study.
Well, and the first thing I thought of was, why don't we just turn over to Psalm 119 and read it out loud for Pete's sake? But we can't do that. But here goes, opening comments. It's unfortunate, but in some circles, the law gets a bad rap, right? That's unfortunate because the law and the God that gave it to us has much to teach us. A little bit of review first. What is one quickie definition of the law? People? What do you say, Dick? What's a quickie definition?
Well, actually, I think the law is a, oops, am I still here?
Yeah, I think so.
The law is a sort of a mini picture of God's character.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you guys would say. A transcript of his character, right? Want to know what God is like? Look at the law. Let's take a step back farther. Like the Teacher's Quarterly has it on page 42, for those of you who are keeping track, the first step in applying the law to one's life, in letting the law teach us, is reading and prayerfully reflecting on it. That's kind of a given. But we're not necessarily talking about the 10 Commandments here. They will forever occupy a hallowed place in Christian and Judaic circles, always. Just stay with me a little longer. What are the first 5 books of the Bible called? Pentateuch. What else?
Books of Moses.
Books of Moses.
Law of Moses.
The law. That's what I was looking for. What does the word Torah mean? Law. Okay. Not just the 10 Commandments. No, the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Torah. Law. So considering this, law can take on a broader definition. Garden of Eden, that's law. Creation, that's law. The parting of the Red Sea, the law. The bad thing that happened with Adam and Eve in the garden, that's law too. Abraham and the patriarchs, that's law. Did the law exist before the world was?
Must have. How did Satan fall if it didn't?
Okay, thank you, Dick. That's just right. If there was no law, how did Satan fall? The law is what, again? A transcript of God's character. Did the law exist before the world was? Yes, because God existed before there was anything. The law is centered in his character the law is centered in God. This might seem like a weird place to start, but we'll start with Deuteronomy chapter 31. Oh. We'll start with verse 1, just to kind of set the scene. What is the context here, the setting?
Moses is not going to be able to go into the promised land,
Okay,
and so he's preparing them.
might want to take a look at Susie's microphone. That's exactly right. Moses was fixing to leave. Let's start reading. Dick, would you read?
Okay, before I do, further answer to your question.
Please.
Not only was Moses fixing to leave, but the children of Israel were getting ready to enter the promised
Okay.
land. And Moses wanted to set them off on the right foot.
Okay,
And the Lord knew it wasn't going to do any good, so he was going to start them anyway.
I
You
know.
want me to read one
Please
through-
read 1 through 5.
And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord has said to me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan. The Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said. And the Lord shall do unto them as he did to Sihon and to Og, the kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that ye may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you.
Incidentally, why was it that Moses was not going to cross Jordan into the land of Canaan? What do you say, Dick?
He had failed to obey.
Okay, a failure to obey. That's what was going to keep him out of the promised land. I'll read 6 through 9.
Actually, what he did when he failed to obey, he misrepresented God to the people.
Oh, he did. Do we have to make water for you people? Yeah, this was not good. Verse 6, Be strong and of good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, it is he that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of good courage. For thou must go with this people into the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, it is he that doth go before thee. He will be with thee, he will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moses wrote this law and delivered it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and unto the elders of Israel. So, little recap here. Moses wrote this law and delivered it to the priests.
Which I had to, I'm not a, of the law, know all these things, but I kind of had to look into that because, I think when you think of the law, you think of the 10 Commandments.
Sure.
But this law that Moses was giving was the civil and sacrificial laws for them to use. And it had the blessings and the curses and all that kind of thing of how what they were supposed to be doing. And then we get to this where it's talking about giving it to the priests and setting it beside the Ten Commandments, not,
Interesting.
yeah.
Not in place of.
Yeah, and one thing I read said that the reason that it was placed beside it is because it was considered temporary.
Interesting. Now that's a study all on its own.
Yeah.
Would you read me verses 10 through 13?
The Lord commanded that these laws be read to all the people at the end of every 7th year, the year of release, at the Festival of Tabernacles, when all Israel would assemble before the Lord at the sanctuary. Call them all together, the Lord instructed, men, women, children, and foreigners living among you, to hear the laws of God and to learn His will, so that you will reverence the Lord your God and obey His laws. Do this so that your little children who have not known these laws will hear them and learn how to revere the Lord your God as long as you live in the promised land.
Now, it seems to me that the implication is that this is a process. If you look at verse 12 again, that they may hear and fear the Lord and observe to do all the words of this law. Verse 13, that the children may hear, observe, and learn to fear the Lord.
But why only every 7 years?
Don't know. Do you have an idea, Dick?
Well, 7 years